Stam Garden Center, your one-stop shop for spring. Transform your indoor and outdoor space with our stunning selection. Visit us today, open 9 to 6, Monday through Saturday, located at 2421 Highway 92, Oskaloosa.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the thousands listening locally and the millions listening around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to shuffle!
Good morning to ya. Tuesday, May the 7th. Steve with you on the morning wake up. It's brought to us by Stam Garden Center and Nursery. Just outside of Oskaloosa on Highway 92. Experience the color. They are open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 6. Closed on Sundays. Stam Garden Center and Nursery sponsoring our morning wake up here on Steve Shuttler Media, which broadcasts live from the Oski Dental Studios. Schedule your appointment with Dr. Schuster or Dr. Drawn, 673-4845. They're accepting new patients. They're going to file all your insurance forms for you. They're a Delta dental provider and located at 902 South 17th Street in Oski Dental. Bringing us the studios here on the morning wake up. And let's take a look at our forecast right now. It's brought to us by the Garden Gate in Sigourney. As you can stop in at 105 South Jefferson in Sigourney. Get in there Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, Saturdays, 9 to noon. And of course, they've got fresh floral arrangements, jewelry, home decor, sympathy gifts, something for everyone. They've got great ideas for Mother's Day, too. So get into the Garden Gate for some great Mother's Day gifts. Our forecast for today, well, of course, it was eventful late overnight, early morning here in our neck of the woods here in southeast and south central Iowa, with several warnings out. I don't know, we had probably a variety of severe thunderstorm and tornado warnings in our area. I know there was a deafening thunder lightning strike at about 3 a.m. that woke everybody up in our household. So a 40% chance of some showers and thunderstorms for this morning. I think those have basically moved out of our area. Otherwise, cloudy skies through mid-morning, gradual clearing, and a high of 75 today. So today should shape up to be pretty nice. East winds gusting up to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 51. Tomorrow, there is a 50% chance of some showers and thunderstorms. And partly sunny skies, a high of 76. Tomorrow night, a 50% chance of some showers and storms, low of 51. And a 50% chance of some showers on Thursday, cloudy and 62. Right now, our current conditions here in southeast Iowa, we do have humidity at 96%, calm winds right now. The barometer at 29.50 and 55 degrees currently in southeast Iowa. Weather brought to us by the Garden Gate. Earlier this morning, we put up our this or that. Check this out. Oh, it's a little, look, the matches are burning. Woo! This or that brought to us by Stacy Flynn at the Legacy Insurance Group and Welcome Realty. And our this or that is truth or dare. What are you going to go with? Did you play this in your youth? Truth or dare? What would you take right now, whatever age you are? Would you go with truth or dare, this or that? That's brought to us by Stacy Flynn, Legacy Insurance Group, Welcome Realty. Just scroll back to 6 a.m. That comes out at that time each weekday on Steve Shuttler Media Facebook. So take part in that if you would like. Coming up at noon today, we'll put out our question of the day. It's brought to us by Amy's Salon House and Spa at 202 North Main, Sigourney. And the question of the day is, what song cheers you up? What do you think? What's your go-to song? If you're kind of down in the dumps, having a bad day, what song do you put on that is guaranteed to cheer you up? I haven't really thought about this. I put this question up here, but now I don't know what song I would go to. I don't know. What song cheers you up? That's our question of the day. It's brought to us by Amy's Salon House and Spa. Goes up at noon on Facebook today. Let's get you caught up on the current standings on the For the Fun of It tournament. It's featuring a 90s country group and duo superstar, sponsored by Sarah's Quickie Delivery. There you see the entire bracket in front of you. Brooks and Dunn ended up beating Confederate Railroad. Kind of a landslide there. So Brooks and Dunn move on to the next round. Now we go over right now to the other side of the bracket with the Dixie Chicks going against Ricochet. That is our current matchup that's going on right now. You can vote on that till 6 p.m. this evening. Let's bring that up. Dixie Chicks versus Ricochet. Of course, Dixie Chicks, all sorts of hits in the 90s into the 2000s. Ricochet having several really big hits back in the 90s. Probably their biggest one was Daddy's Money. So Ricochet, and for the Dixie Chicks being probably one of the favored groups and duos in this tournament, Ricochet is getting their fair share of votes in this matchup. It is not a total destruction like the Brooks and Dunn Confederate Railroad matchup. Dixie Chicks in the lead right now, but Ricochet getting their fair share of votes. So we'll see. We'll see if the Chicks can hold on and move on to the next round. Voting for that goes till 6 p.m. this evening, and then our next matchup will be Alabama versus McBride and the Ride. Coming up later on this evening, we will be going to Smoky Row in Oskaloosa, as we'll have Tuesday Night Tune-Up, TNT. Going to be streaming that local and area racing show from Smoky Row in Oskaloosa. That's every Tuesday at 7 p.m. through August 13th. Safe Grafke is your host. Usually get help from Curtis Vanderwall. And tonight, we're going to be talking to A.J. Johnson. Let's bring up his car. There you can see his car. Give me just a second. I want to give A.J. his proper introduction. A.J. is the driver of the 93 non-wing Sprint cars and the 8J Pro Sprint wing car. That's a lot. That's a lot of words, racing words. A.J. Johnson, going to be our guest on tonight's Tuesday Night Tune-Up. Now, the thing is, you can come in and be part of the live audience if you'd like at Smoky Row. You can do that every Tuesday at 7 p.m., or just watch it, of course, here on Steve Shuttler Media, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, X. That's coming up later on this evening. Coming up later on this week, we'll be going to Barnwired in Sigourney. That young man will be coming to town at Barnwired in Sigourney from 11:30 to noon on Friday. His name is Sam Roberts. I don't know Sam. I mentioned this yesterday. I've never met Sam. I've talked to him just a tiny little bit online and heard a little bit of his music. So, going to get to know Sam Roberts this Friday, 11:30 to noon at Barnwired in Sigourney. Again, that's something where you can stop in, watch it live and in person, or just watch it here on Steve Shuttler Media. And then on Saturday, we're going to Brothers Market for the sports section. We'll be talking local and area sports. Jenny Hobbs is your spring host for the sports section. She's going to be hosting through the end of May. And then Mitch Eslick will be taking over the hosting duties for the summer months. So Jenny Hobbs will be your host. Again, Brothers Market sports section coming up on Saturday. What else we got going on? I think that about does it. Let's take a look at some community calendar events on our calendar. Now, the Sigourney Fireworks Committee needing some help in order to keep the fireworks show going on here in the big town of Sigourney. Sigourney Fireworks Committee needing your help. They're going to be hosting a golf tournament silent auction coming up at the end of this month on Saturday, May 25th at the Sigourney Golf and Country Club. So make sure you take part in that. Also on our community calendar events, keep in mind the Sigourney Public Library always has their monthly book chat. That's the third Saturday of every month. This month that comes up on May 18th. So take part in that at the Sigourney Public Library. And then coming up this Friday, the Heartland Humane Society in Ottumwa having their plant sale. That cat looks astonished, amazed, or scared. I'm not sure which. Coming up on Friday from 8 to 5, the plant sale for the Heartland Humane Society in Ottumwa at the First Presbyterian Church in Ottumwa. Make sure you support the Heartland Humane Society for all the good that they do with all of those pets. All right, let's take a look at some birthdays. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. And our birthday's brought to us, let's see here, by Hometown Real Estate in Sigourney. Nikki Leathers, the broker, owner, and realtor. Give Nikki a call at 641-295-4142, hometown-re.com. Celebrity and hometown birthdays for today. Not a lot of birthdays on either side there. Plenty of room for more. Celebrity birthdays, yeah, not a ton of big birthdays today. Tracy Lords, actress, 56 years old. Football player Alex Smith is 40. Kevin Owens, the WWE wrestler, is also the big 40, 40 years old. And then from Saturday Night Live fame, Addie, I'm not sure how you say her name, Addie Bryant is 37 years old. Hometown birthdays, here local and area birthdays. We've got James Gillum with a birthday today and Andrew Okonis. So happy birthday to those fellas. As we always say, if you have some birthdays, some hometown birthdays on your list, maybe yourself, your friends, your family, and you want to get those on the hometown birthday list, you can always message me on my Facebook page at Steve Shuttler Media or give me an email at steveshuttlermedia@gmail.com. Would love to celebrate any birthdays that you're aware of. So let me know in advance, and I'll get them on my daily post for the Hometown Real Estate Celebrity and Hometown Birthdays. All right. We do thank all of our sponsors for making our broadcast possible, including Stam Garden Center in Oskaloosa, sponsoring our morning wake up, and the Oski Dental Studios. Good morning to you. Let's see here. Let's get to some good mornings here. Dan Adams, usually first on the list. He got beat by a few people today. Dan must have been sleeping in today. Good morning to you, Nancy, Dodie, Amber, Cindy, Dan, there we go, Bubby, Tamara, Sandy, Tracy, Dixie, Dodie, Pat, Dixie. I'm repeating some people. Dodie's birthday is today. I'm just seeing that. You're going Roadhouse, like the Patrick Swayze Roadhouse or Texas Roadhouse. Well, either way, happy birthday to you, Dodie, one of our faithful viewers each morning here on Steve Shuttler Media. Let's take a look at some stuff on this date in history. The American Medical Association, founded on this date, which once again it is May 7th. American Medical Association, founded on this date in 1847. As on this date, 1982, unemployment in the U.S. reached a post-Great Depression high of 9.4%. Again, over 9% unemployed on this date back in 1982. It was on this date in 1985, baseball commissioner Peter Ueberroth announced plans to institute mandatory drug testing for all baseball personnel except major league players. Does that make sense? Again, this was 1985, the commish putting in mandatory drug testing for all baseball personnel except Major League Baseball players. Weird. And then on this date, 1994, Norway's most famous painting, The Scream, you know, that weird painting, was recovered almost 3 months after being stolen from the Oslo Museum. Today, on the National Day calendar, it's National Tourism Day. It's National Packaging Design Day. It's National Roast Leg of Lamb Day. So make sure you roast a leg of lamb. And then it's National Paste Up Day. I have no idea what that means. Paste Up Day. And then, of course, coming up, we've got Mother's Day on Sunday. And then not too far away is Memorial Day. Just a couple of weeks away from Friday. So things going on. May, by the way, is also National Hamburger Month. So make sure you have a hamburger this month. Let's check in with some of our sponsors. That includes our headliner, Stam Garden Center and Nursery.
Stam Garden Center, your one-stop shop for spring. Transform your indoor and outdoor space with our stunning selection. Visit us today, open 9 to 6, Monday through Saturday, located at 2421 Highway 92, Oskaloosa.
The Tassel Ridge Sweethearts Rosé is a sweet, fruity pink wine that comes in a 500 milliliter heart-shaped bottle. It's the perfect Mother's Day gift. It's available only at Tassel Ridge Winery. Tassel Ridge also offers 9 different rosé wines that range from dry to semi-sweet and on to fully sweet wines. All are very fruity and can be chilled and sipped or served with spicy dishes like Asian stir-fries, Mexican, and Moroccan couscous. When asked for my favorite, I usually think of Iowa Steuben. Iowa Steuben is a very fruity, semi-sweet rosé that is very popular. It's also versatile since it can be chilled and sipped, or it can be used to complement many foods.
Muse Music Store and Mahaska County Conservation Board presents Eveland Access Summerfest Music by the River 2024. June 1st from noon to 10 p.m. featuring 8 musical artists with live music, activities like bingo, sand volleyball, and cornhole, food, and much, much more. It's a free event at the Eveland Access Campgrounds at 2890 Galveston Avenue, Oskaloosa. Bring a friend and have a lot of fun at the Eveland Access Summerfest 2024 Music by the River. June 1st from noon to 10 at the Eveland Access Campgrounds. Hey, we're back doing the morning wake up brought to us by Stam Garden Center and Nursery. Time for things you need to know. Oh yeah. Come on now. Things you need to know. Things you need to know. United Airlines has a new addition to their seating system. Now, if you get stuck buying a middle seat, you can let them know that you're not happy, and you'll be moved to a window or aisle seat if one becomes available. So, middle seats kind of stink because you got somebody on both sides. I mean, if you do fall asleep, either way you lean, you can lean on somebody's shoulder, but that's about the only good thing. Let's see here. Other things you need to know. The lady who was crowned Miss USA back in November has announced that she is resigning her role, saying the decision is in the best interest of her mental health. Let's see here. A vehicle traveling at, quote-unquote, a high rate of speed crashed into a gate at the White House complex late Saturday, killing the driver. They say it was no serious threat to the president, but still, it did happen. Drew Carey says that he is never quitting The Price is Right. So evidently Drew going to die on stage of The Price is Right. They're going to have to drag him off. He is never going to quit The Price is Right. The fiance, in other news, the fiance of the Wisconsin elementary school teacher who was arrested last week for making out with a 5th grader, you heard me right, has called off their July wedding. So the guy that was engaged to the elementary school teacher calling off the wedding. She made out with a 5th grader? Gross. The show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire will be marking its 25th anniversary on ABC with a new season this summer. Late night host Jimmy Kimmel will return to host the show. How about Whoopi Goldberg, spilling some details on her life story in her new memoir that comes out this week called Bits and Pieces, including the fact that I didn't realize this. Her original name was Karen Johnson. She's a Karen. And she wanted to name herself Whoopee Cushion, but her mom said that people wouldn't take her seriously. Oh, we were this close, where Whoopi Goldberg could have been Whoopee Cushion. Dang it. Other stuff you need to know: a mansion in Los Angeles, once owned by Muhammad Ali, is up for auction. The asking price is $13.5 million. Have you seen any of the roast on Netflix? I believe this aired live over the weekend. The greatest roast of all time is on Netflix. Celebrity roast of Tom Brady. I didn't see any of it live. I literally just this morning saw just a tiny little bit of what Kevin Hart, the comedian Kevin Hart, had to say about Tom Brady and his ex-wife Giselle. Kevin Hart, cruel, whew, and foul mouth too. I've never seen any Kevin Hart stand-up comedy, so I didn't realize he used so many interesting words. Let's see here, other stuff you need to know. Rumors abound that heads are going to be rolling at ABC News, and that has started as on Sunday night, the president of ABC News, Kim Godwin, announcing that she is stepping down from her role. Other stuff you need to know. This would be kind of interesting if you're a big fan of like classic Hollywood. As a guy who is named Fred Otash, now 32 years after he passed away, his daughter has allowed all the notes that he took during his career as a private Hollywood detective to be turned into a book. So again, this guy was a Hollywood detective long time ago. And this book is called The Fixer: Moguls, Mobsters, Movie Stars, and Maryland. It also takes a deep dive into the tragic life of Judy Garland. So look for that book. Again, if you like classic Hollywood stuff, you might want to take a look at that. In some food news, Krispy Kreme has come out with a collection of mini donuts just in time for Mother's Day called Minis for Moms. So look into that. Let's see here. A couple of summertime flavors of Doritos are back this summer to go along with your barbecuing, called Doritos Ketchup and Doritos Spicy Mustard. How about Walgreens? They have a hit on their hands, Mango Gummy Candy. In fact, it's such a hit that they're limiting orders on their website to 1 bag per customer. So Mango Gummy Candy from Walgreens. And then Frito-Lay, they have 7 flavors of what's called Pop Corners, a creation that is some kind of popcorn chip. They've got stuff like classic kettle corn, white cheddar, spicy queso, and sweet chili, and now new jalapeno popper pop corners. So look for those from Frito-Lay. Let's do this. Today's impossible. It's impossible. I don't think it's impossible today. Question. Today's impossible question. The average age for a person to learn to what is 8 years old. Again, the average age for a person to learn how to what is 8 years old. Good morning to you, Eloise. Thanks for joining in. And Sherry, Again, happy birthday to Dodie. Hope you have a great day. Impossible question today. I don't think this is impossible. The average age for a person to learn how to what is 8 years old, and we're coming up on that season right now. It's where you learn how to swim. The average age is 8 years old, learning how to swim. I don't know how old I was when I was 8. I do remember, and see, I live just down the road from the swimming pool here in the big town of Sigourney. I can remember I was on the high dive. Jay Jocks was my swimming instructor, and they were trying to get me to dive off of the high dive, do like an actual head first dive into the water from the high dive. I think I stood like arched over for probably a half an hour before they finally, I think they coaxed me with like I could have a bag of whatever chips I wanted from the concession stand. And then I finally dove in. Or maybe I'm remembering it wrong and I didn't. The ghost of Steve Shetler, little Steve Shetler, is probably still bent over on the high dive that is not there anymore. Whatever happened to the high dive? Let's go to the weird.
That is weird.
In some weird today, a Massachusetts woman won $1 million from a scratch-off lottery ticket just 10 weeks after winning the same amount from another game. So she wasn't happy with her original million. She actually kept playing lottery tickets and won another $1 million just a few weeks later. So congratulations to her. Let's go to Wisconsin. Officials warned of traffic delays in Wisconsin when an overturned truck spilled beer onto the highway. Police shared photos on social media showing the semi-truck on its side on Thursday with cases of Miller High Life beer spilling out from its rears. So traffic backed up because of a beer spill on a Wisconsin highway. Here in Iowa, now this is going to go up this afternoon. If you want more on this, this will go up as our weird news story at 1 o'clock this afternoon on Steve Shetler Media Facebook. Residents of an Iowa town treated to an unusual and whimsical sight when a dog and a deer went for a walk around town together. The Tipton Police Department posted photos to Facebook showing the dog and deer strolling together in locations, including a block of businesses and the city courthouse. So again, a dog and a deer. Again, that'll go up at 1 p.m. as our weird news of the day today, but that right here in Iowa. How about the leprosy? Let's talk about leprosy, shall we? Something we don't talk about very often, leprosy. Scientists have long believed that leprosy originated with humans, but a medieval squirrel suggests a different possibility. Researchers examined the bones of red squirrels from an ancient furrier, along with the bones of leprosy victims who lived at about the same time, and to their surprise, they discovered that one of the squirrels had the same strain of leprosy as the humans, suggesting that the disease was passing between the two species way back when. So, leprosy and squirrels. Who knew? We didn't know till now. And then one more weird news story. This is kind of, this is interesting. A bear beat first responders to the scene of a fatal crash in western Massachusetts over the weekend and, quote unquote, made contact with the victim's body. According to state police, Massachusetts State Police said the crash occurred on the southbound side of Interstate 91 at some point around 11 a.m. on Sunday. A passing motorist reported seeing the vehicle in the woods on the side of the highway. Let's see here. Evidence and observations at the scene suggest that the man that was driving was most likely deceased as a result of the crash and was either fully ejected or partially ejected and then later dragged from the car by the bear. And I don't think it was Smokey the bear. I think the bear was looking for a little snack, a little snacky snack. The bear left the area while responders were on the scene. But again, a bear, and I don't think he was trying to save the man either. The bear dragging the man away from the crash. Again, that happening in Massachusetts. They probably got there just in time. Probably wouldn't have been much left. Let's go to the files of law and disorder. In some disorder today, let's go out to Ohio. A money mystery in Marysville, Ohio, has police trying to figure out where nearly $40,000 came from. More than $25,000 was found in the restroom of a theater on Saturday. And then Thursday night, more than $12,000 was found in the restroom at a KFC. The bills found were in multiple denominations like 5s, 10s, and even $100 bills. Police urging anyone who might find other cash dumps to contact police in Marysville, Ohio. That is some law and disorder. Let's do something that will make you smile.
Something that makes you smile.
Something to make you smile, always brought to us by Dr. Stacy Freeze at Lifetime Dental Solutions. If you're searching for a dentist in Sigourney, give Dr. Freeze a call, 641-622-2669, accepting new patients at Lifetime Dental Solutions. Dr. Stacy Freeze bringing us something to make you smile. And this is a good story. Again, this goes up. We always put this up as its own individual post at 7:45 on our Facebook page. Now, the story goes this. I'm going to try to give you a quick recap. But Matt Busbus and his partners have built and sold several outdoor companies with hundreds of millions of dollars. But Busbus, the 42-year-old owner of a sporting goods store in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, says he has never felt richer than he did the day that he received a single dollar. Now, it seems that Busbus woke up and was running late and was kind of wearing, he just basically threw some clothes on, was wearing some mismatched clothes. His hair wasn't put, he wasn't put together. He was looking kind of homeless. Now, the thing is, before he went into a coffee shop, he remembered that he hadn't done his morning prayer. So obviously this man is a man of faith. So he knelt down outside of the coffee shop to say his morning prayer. And a boy who happened to be walking by saw him praying and approached him to give him $1. The boy says, "If you're homeless, here's $1. He says, "I always wanted to help a homeless person, and I finally had the opportunity." Now, the boy says he had just gotten $1 for good grades, and it was the only money he had to his name. And he was wanting to give this to this man who he didn't look like it, but he was a millionaire. I mean, this man loaded with money. But he just looked kind of unkempt and was kneeling down to pray when this boy was going to give him $1. So to get more on this story, look for that. I'll post it at 7:45 this morning. Something to make you smile, brought to us by Dr. Stacy Freeze. Let's go to a moment of duh. Let's go to Green Bay for some duh today. A man in Green Bay with a one-of-a-kind first name was back in court, reportedly pleading not guilty to his 2 charges. Now, according to court records, 42-year-old Deez Nuts, again, that's his name, Deez Nuts Kroll is his last name, was back in court on May 2nd for a return on warrant. He reportedly entered not guilty pleas to all counts. Additionally, he reportedly signed his signature bond, which was set at $11,000. Now, Kroll, Deez Nuts, is scheduled to be back in court on May 20th for a status conference. He's facing charges, battery, and disorderly conduct. Both are misdemeanors that stem from a alleged incident that happened back on March 5th. The criminal complaint said there was a reported disturbance, and Kroll allegedly ended up getting a gun, which turned out to be a CO2 BB gun. However, Deez Nuts Kroll is still in trouble. So, Deez Nuts, what an idiot. Let's wrap this up. Yesterday, I failed to give you box office returns from the movies. And yeah, nothing good to report from over the weekend. The movie The Fall Guy with Ryan Gosling debuted. And as has been the case here for months now, just debuts are not debuting like they used to. The Fall Guy, which from what I've seen, looks like it's a pretty good movie. Reviews pretty decent for it. Bringing in just $28.5 million for The Fall Guy over the weekend. So that's what a big debut is these days. Star Wars, they re-released The Phantom Menace from Star Wars for Star Wars Day over the weekend. That brought in $8 million. Let's see here. Everything else was under $8 million for the weekend. Challengers, Tenet, Godzilla, Kong, Civil War, Unsung Hero, Kung Fu Panda, Abigail, Ghostbusters. So, yeah, that's your box office receipts from over the weekend. All right, let's take one last look at our forecast. It's brought to us by the Garden Gate today. Well, I think we've seen our chance of rain, and things are starting to clear off. Should be a nice day today, a high of 75, and east winds could gust up to 25 miles per hour. Do keep in mind, coming up later on this evening, we'll be going over to Smoky Row in Oskaloosa. Tonight at 7, Safe Grafke is your host. A.J. Johnson will be our guest driver, our guest interview for this evening, live from Smoky Row with Tuesday Night Tune-Up, TNT. Make sure you tune in for that. We do thank Stam Garden Center for sponsoring our morning wake-up, where you can experience the color Monday through Saturday, 9 to 6. And then Oski Dental bringing us our Oski Dental Studios. Set up an appointment with Dr. Dan or Dr. Drawn at 641-673-4845. All right, that does it for me. Coming up later on today, in remembrance of, at 8 a.m., the What's Happening community calendar video at noon today. Coming up this evening, we'll have Successful Farming at 5:30. We'll get the Brain Rewired with Coach Iva Bontrager. And possibly we'll get a video from Jackie Jarms at Be the Light Ministry. And, of course, we'll have our new matchup coming up at 6 o'clock this evening for our For the Fun of It tournament, featuring 90s country groups and duos. All right, that does it for me. Have a great Tuesday. I'll see you back here tomorrow, hopefully with my buddy Neil Crott at 7 a.m.